are repping. Sorry. It's not word in there. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Jefferson County Health Department Board of Trustees Special Meeting for November 13th, 2024. It is 4 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Pig,
I am here.
Dr. Henry,
Here.
Ms. Stidham,
Here.
Mr. Deal,
Here.
Ms. Taylor.
Motion has been, or quorum has been established. Before we begin, make sure everybody either put your phone on silent or shut off, please. So we don't have any interruptions. Mr. Deal, would you be so kind as to read the mission, vision, and purpose?
Yes, it will. Mission is of the health department in Jefferson County to promote positive health outcomes through delivery of foundational public health services. The vision is a healthy Jefferson County. And the purpose of the health center, as stated in the revised Missouri statutes, is the Jefferson County Health Department is established, maintained, and operated for the improvement of health of all inhabitants of Jefferson County.
Thank you, Mr. Deal. I'm looking for a motion for approval of the agenda, please.
A motion to approve.
I'll second.
We're having a first and second. Any discussion on the matter? Not hearing any, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have no guest in the audience. No old business. We only have one thing on the agenda for new business, and that is act on recommendation of the interim executive director to approve a fleet insurance policy with MoPerm and JCHD Fleet. If I can have a motion for that so we can get on with discussion.
I make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Sykes, go.
Okay, as you all know, the Hartford is our current insurance for our fleet. The majority of our fleet, due to the amount of claims, they informed us that they were going to drop us on November 15th. We were noticed, I think, into September, somewhere in there, during this time that we've been getting quotes from other agencies. We've gotten 3 different companies to give quotes. 2 of those companies are through our current, with one of our brokers. And then the other quote is through MoPerm, which is through the broker that handles our MoPerm accounts for other liability coverage. So we just got all the quotes in. And we're kind of on a rush here, so I thank you all for coming. I apologize for this, but we've been working hard to get this going. The MoPerm is I believe was established by state legislation for local governments to use. I don't know if you could say they're state vetted. I think in a way they are, because those legislation established them specifically for government agencies. So they are the lowest rate, the premium. The deductible is $5,000, so it's a little bit higher. But I think we're moving in that direction anyway, because probably we need to start paying for a lot of the damage. If we have damage, seeing if we can pay out of pocket and not submit so many claims, because apparently we will get dropped on that. But we had 2 hailstorms that really probably pushed us over the top on that. So, talking with Christy, we felt like MoPerm is what we need to go with right now through the bid process that we did. That MoPerm kind of follows our procedure of how we go out for bids. So the total, including the remaining of this year, is approximately $61,254 would be our
That's for
premium.
just the remainder of this year.
No, that's 2025 and the remainder of this year.
Well,
I think, and those numbers may get tweaked a little bit, but I think 2025 was around 55,000. And the remaining of this year is a little over 7,000, somewhere in there, prorated. So they would just do it like that. So it is a huge cost savings. We just have a higher deductible on many of the payouts that we have.
Would that deductible be, let's say we had another hail incident, would it be 5,000 per vehicle?
Yes. Yeah,
What's our current deductible?
the Hartford is 1,000, I believe. Yeah, so. But you pay a much higher premium. And I don't know if we have another hailstorm. I don't know what will happen when it comes to insurance. Cause that'll be another loss. When they do loss runs, the underwriters, it's not really the company itself, it's the underwriters that look at it. And that's how that's why Hartford dropped us, cause the underwriters recommend not carrying us due to our so many claims. So another hailstorm we'll be back in a poor position again.
How many vehicles is this?
What do we have, Steve?
Oh my goodness, I always forget, it's like 29, 30 vehicles.
But they would all of our vehicles would be in MoPerm. So right now we have them kind of spread out because Hartford was a premium type insurance, so they wouldn't cover the spray vehicles. They wouldn't cover the larger dental vans. So we had to go out for different insurance agencies. So in a way, it's nice to have them all with one company.
And this is wellness van, everything.
When we get to wellness van,
Yeah.
yeah. It would be under this, then, but that would probably, I don't think that,
They're included in the bid?
no, I don't think that's in the bid, because we don't have that van.
Yeah, they
yet.
don't have it, so they can't provide coverage.
Yeah, so it would be an additional cost.
When's that supposed to be delivered?
I think it's still on track for,
February, March.
yeah, it's in March, yeah. So again, our coverage ends November 15th, which is Friday.
Our country meeting.
Yeah.
So if we decide to go with MoPerm or anyone else, will we have coverage at that point?
MoPerm said they would have coverage on Friday. We may not have the cards. And Steve's gonna check with MoPerm to see if there's something we could have through an email that we'll have limited staff driving. So that'll work, for Friday. And hopefully we'll have something by Monday to put in the vehicles. I really don't wanna I know it's not a big issue. You usually can go back and if you get pulled over, you can verify that later, but I don't wanna put employees through all that if we don't have to.
Just curious, what did the police departments do with all their vehicles? Are they all making claims the same, and have you heard of?
I'm not
anybody
sure.
else is getting canceled or? I'm sure.
I don't know.
There's an agency that most of the local police departments, I was just talking to somebody the other day about that they all use, but they only insure law enforcement.
So they have a special, well, I could see that due to their high probability of crashing, so, yeah.
Or just if their vehicles were damaged, if other people are getting canceled, with insuring bigger fleets, not necessarily health departments, but just in this area that had all that hail, what?
I don't
There's the-
use a smoke permit, but
Most
the
of the school
score
districts do
deductible's
too.
higher.
Most of the school districts do too, like the school.
Oh, yeah, schools, yeah.
I mean, I think you can go with a higher deductible if you so choose,
Even higher than 5,000.
yeah. I think you can, but I'm okay with that, cause
Yeah, if it wasn't for the hail damage scenario, I think we might look at going higher, but that was a huge amount of money that we
Can I
submitted.
ask a somewhat unrelated question? I know that we went through a long planning process for the new building. One thing we talked about it at some point was having some covered parking over there. Which would kind of eliminate that as an issue. And I've seen some car lots that have coverings that don't look like they'd be all that expensive. But would we have room over there if at some point we were interested in doing that?
Well, we have an area designated for fleet parking, but we do park some fleet in Arnold as well, so we have it split up. But yes, we have one area designated for fleet, so it could be covered. It's just paying, we discussed it and it was gonna be, that was one of the things that got cut
Yeah,
because of the expense.
right.
So, yeah, maybe it could. The other thing we are looking at is to look and to see if having the fleet, to the extent that we have it, is still profitable, or the best, not profitable, the best way to go financially. You know, it typically it has been, but with insurance rates and mileage going up, we may adjust that at some point. We're just not ready, haven't been able to do that yet. So I don't think we'd ever eliminate it, but maybe we find out that it's better to reduce the number of fleet vehicles we have. So that would be a savings as well. But we definitely have to have liability. And the other thing we may do is looking at some vehicles to say, we're only gonna carry liability on them. But for now, we're going with the comprehensive and collision on them as well. And Steve, you have anything you wanna add? Steve did a lot of the work on this.
No, you covered it really well. I mean, one thing I would say is that you kind of talked about it some, is that when you have a broker, when they go out for bids on your behalf, you can't have other brokers hit the same companies for bids. They lock those brokers out, and so it makes it difficult to do a bidding process. So, and I would say the good thing is that brokers are essentially, they're independent of us, so they're making those pitches for quotes. And then they present the data to us, and then we make a selection based upon what they're able to provide, so.
And I think we can terminate no perm.
Yes, we can early terminate if we want to without, I was told without fees.
So if we feel like that this isn't what we need as we get into this, we can go out for bids with a broker and see if he better deals. I don't know if we're gonna get a lower premium or not, but
One thing we did encounter was when we were notified of the lot of the being dropped. We had asked our broker to go out for bid, because we knew it would come up again in the fall. And when I called them to say we were being dropped, it took time for them to even get quotes, because we had coverage. And they told me that a lot of the insurance companies won't provide a quote until 30 days prior to your coverage expiring or lapsing. So they just won't do it. And then of course they limit how long that quote is good for.
This MoPerm proposal says that it was prepared by Weiss Insurance Agency. Are they a broker or who?
they're our MoPerm broker, which I don't know, that was set up before I got in this position, so I don't know. They cover a lot of our liability for other items. Any other questions on? No,
What were we paying?
now,
Where are we paying Hartford? Are we paying Hartford, right?
I don't have that number.
The only, I mean, I asked a question, no one knows.
It's more,
I think it was about
as I
80,000.
say, it's more than what the premium is, but they had a lot, our deductible was a lot lower too.
It was just a one-time payment. We just paid them, then we're covered for a year.
Yeah, we paid.
It's
it
not monthly. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it shows up monthly on our financials because we have to prepaid insurance, but yeah, it's an annual amounts. And it didn't cover all of the vehicles that Mopar is. So it flex vehicles come on. It's a little different.
Yeah, it's hard to, even the two other bids that we received, it's hard to compare everything apples to apples. There's some that are better with the other two, but the premiums are so much higher. So yeah, Mopar comes in lower than what we're paying Hartford for our current coverage. For less vehicles on theirs.
So we have a time concern,
That's why I have special need.
but if the need ever comes up and we can cancel Mulford for whatever reason, I don't see where it would to go with them, since we need to do something.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were told, that we can terminate the policy.
Well, worst case, it's just a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, these other ones, these numbers here, like the 114, the 113, that's, and then this one's 55. So are these other two double? Is that how I understand it?
Yeah. And the two that we, the other two. National and Berkshire, were they just for 2025 or they started November of
They
this
started
year?
November of this year and we conclude in November, and the deductibles on those are around, from to 2,500.
Yeah,
But they also had another key issue, is they had a limit to where we could actually drive the vehicles, 300-mile limit, where
Yeah. The
Mopar
radius.
does not.
yeah. So so Mopar is 61,000, that's
That's
12
what that-
months plus. It's actually 13 and a half months.
Okay.
Where the other two are just for 12 months.
Kind of a greater than.
Somewhat, except like I say, it's what risk are you willing to take on your deductibles? And that's a pretty big premium to pay. On that, not quite double, but close to it.
You have blue book values on each of the vehicles in the fleet to know whether or not it'd be worth filing a claim if you owe $5,000 on each one.
We had to provide an evaluation of the vehicles to the insurance companies when we provided them with our list, and we did a KBV lookup on each of the vehicles.
Yeah, there's
The
a
ones
few.
that we're able to now, the upfitted vans, that value is something you can't look up. We have to use our own adjusted value.
It'd be very easy to hit the deductible on the Mercedes.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have an estimate of what the coverage will be on the wellness van once we get that?
No, we don't, we can get that, yeah.
Do we know like what it was before, what Hartford was charging us?
So all three vans, it was not the Hartford, it was National and Indemnity, and I remember, and this is just a ballpark figure because it's been a year, but I remember the last time we covered all three vans, it was approximately $10,000. So,
It's about 3.5 times.
yeah,
Mopar cover the van?
They said they will, yeah, they put everything, they said they actually, we had to.
Oh, that's nice.
but that is equipment on those vans, we have to cover under, what is that?
Debris.
Policy, like you said, so we will have to inventory that equipment and put it on another policy. They'll cover the van and anything that's permanently affixed to the van.
It'd be 61 plus another 3,000 or 4,000.
With that van, right. It may be a little bit more than that since it's really new and.
Mopar operates as like a risk pool, don't they, Steve? So that kind of,
I forget how many agencies are part of that, but it's essentially a risk pool.
right. So that can affect.
Yeah, we're gonna raise their risk level.
Sorry.
Everybody else, yeah. All right, any other questions?
Just curious, so we didn't have like really any other claims except for the hail.
Uh,
I mean, just 1, 2, 3, nothing major.
we did have a vehicle accident claim against us. With some other things attached with that. I don't know how much to say in this.
We've talked about it in both sessions.
Yeah, no, I would just not remember that, yeah. So it wasn't like we had all these claims except for hail.
Yeah. Yeah,
Most of the claims are weather.
Right.
yeah,
The two major ones, other.
well, I don't know what weighs more, you know, I would say probably that the other incident probably weighs a lot more on the point system that they use, way I understand. But the hail damage, there was more of it,
So, right.
yeah.
Right, more vehicles involved.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor, which was to act on the recommendation of the interim executive director to approve the fleet insurance policy with MoPerm for the health department fleet. We had a first by Ms. Stidham and a second by Ms. Henry. Are there any other discussion points? All right. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there any need for closed session? I believe so. There's nothing on the agenda. Okay. All right, so I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I have one question.
Oh, sure.
I want to add for the agenda, because now would be the time to do that,
What are you looking for now?
to add something to the agenda for next meeting,
Okay,
or would you like an email?
no, lay it on me.
I would like to, as a board, be able to obtain the vaccine grants and contracts that we have with the state. I would just like to look over those.
Okay.
As a board,
I don't have them. Isn't that part of the package we get, for all the grants and contracts?
Well, are you wanting the actual contract wording?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
You,
I just want to take a look at them to see what the state's requirements to do with our vaccine schedule
have to have copies provided at the next
for
board
the
meeting.
board.
Okay.
I
Yes,
think just have a copy. and
All right,
that way
copy,
everybody can
yeah.
look- That way we can look at it.
Okay.
That's okay?
Yeah,
So we don't need to put that on the agenda, we'll just have it.
great, thank you.
Is there more than one contract for all of that different vaccine?
I'm sure you're gonna have a few of those.
There's a handful.
All right.
Still looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank
First, second, any other discussion points? Not hearing any, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.